What's up, you guys? Welcome back and welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be showing you guys the installation on the Auxbeam Slim switch panel. And I'm also going to be showing you guys the differences between this brand new one versus the old version that I had on my truck. So if you guys are interested, make sure to stay tuned. Let's get it. All right, you guys, so some people may be asking, why do you want a switch panel? Well, let's show you guys this. So one of these is going to be our fog lights and one of these is our rock lights. And as you can tell, these switches just look very ugly. This is kind of what comes with it, but it just doesn't look right. As you can see, it looks unfinished. So with the switch panel, you can mount it somewhere. Also, let's show you guys in the engine bay, the before and then of course the after. So let's walk over there. As you can tell, there's a bunch of wires kind of dangling here and it just looks like a rat's nest. This is honestly embarrassing. So what the switch panel does is it gets rid of all this stuff. So it gets rid of this fuse here, it gets rid of the relays, and it's literally just a wire coming out of whatever light you have installed straight into the switch panel. So it just makes it a lot cleaner. I know it's going to be a little bit hard to see on camera, but when you do have switches like this, then you have a bunch of wires running in through the cab inside. So right now what we're going to be working on is we're going to start removing all these wires that we don't need. As an example, this one here is connected to our fog lights. We have aftermarket fog lights from Baja. This wire going into the cab is going to be the switch. We're going to be chopping that off. And then you're going to see this wire right here that has a fuse that goes into the battery. We're going to be chopping that off. And then you're going to see this relay here. We're also going to be chopping off the relay. So essentially, we're just going to have these wires that come from the lights themselves. And we're going to be connecting those directly into the switch panel. So let me go ahead and just start cutting all this off. And then remove it, clean it up, and then I'll get the switch panel and show you guys how to install that. So before I do the cleanup job, I wanted to show you guys really quick. So like I said, these two are the ones coming from our lights. One of them comes from one side, the other one comes from the other side. And right here we have a positive and a negative and a positive and a negative. So this is essentially what's going to go into our switch panel. If you guys check this out, let me show you. Now all this other access wire that we have here, all this is going to go to the trash. So like I said, let me clean this up and then I'll get back to you guys. The cool thing with this one, it is the RGB Auxbeam switch panel. It is the slim version. So it's a little bit more slim than the old ones, which I'll show you guys in a bit. And it's still going to come with the same features if you guys did get this new version. So for example, you're still going to have the strobe feature on these, which will show you guys what that is later in the video. It's going to still come with the RGB backlighting and a couple of the other options that I used to have before. Now we're going to continue onto this piece here. Push down and it should release this just like that. All your lights are going to be connected into this panel here with the provided screwdriver, the Phillips. This is where you'll be able to utilize it. So you unscrew here and you connect your lights positive, negative, positive, negative. Each one has its own switch, as you can see, up to 6 switches on the one we chose. So we're going to do that after everything's installed. For now, we're going to be focusing on this here, this, and this right here. So first things first, you're going to notice we got 2 red cables that look like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the smaller one, open this bad boy up just like that. And then we got the bigger one. Same thing, just open it up. And we're going to start off by inserting it through here, just like that. And then this is where this is going to come in handy. This new version, it comes with these little rubbers here. Go ahead and grab the red one for the red wire. And you're going to go ahead and insert it. Just kind of play with it and it should go in there. And basically this is going to be a protective sleeve so nothing gets messed up under here. So I thought that was a pretty cool option that they added. And then we're going to go ahead and unscrew the positive. You can either get a Phillips head or a size 10mm socket. Screw that in right here. And then when screwing it back in, if you are using a drill, just be really careful. You don't want to overdo it. So maybe at the end, you could go ahead and get yourself a screwdriver and tighten it all the way down. Then you can put the rubber right over it just like that. So that's the cool new feature that it comes with. And we're going to do the same thing with the black wire. Open it up, slide it right there, add the cover. All right, now that that's done, you're going to notice on this side you have 2 little yellow covers. Go ahead and remove those now. Once you expose them, you're going to see the prongs there. For one of them, which is going to be on the smaller, that says ACC, that's going to be a 2-pin connector. And you're going to grab this wire that comes provided. This wire is the one that's going to go to our Adafuse, which we said to purchase if you have a Toyota Tacoma. We're not going to put that on right now. For now, we're going to focus on the 2-prong. Go ahead and slide it under here. And you can do the same thing. Go ahead and connect. It only goes in one way. You can see there's a clip. Go ahead and clip it in. Make sure it clips. And then you slide it through there. Up next, we're now going to get this black wire, which this side is what's going to connect to our switch panel button. And then this is going to go through there as well. So it's going to be the same thing. Put it through here. Bring it right over. Super simple. You can't really mess this up. It only goes in one way. Make sure it clips in, just like that. So we're basically done on this section here. Like I said, once we finish the installation, then we'll show you guys on this right here for the actual lights. For now, just so we keep all this in place, we'll put the cover on just for now. So now that we have all this here, up next, let's go ahead and get the big red positive. We're going to grab this bad boy here. We're going to take the cap off, and we're going to go ahead and connect that there, just like that. Go ahead and reinstall, just like that. Reinstall the cap. Do the same thing with the opposite side. Once that's off, now you're going to grab the other big wire that you still have left over. Go ahead and connect that there. Once this is done, go ahead and reinstall the clear cap, just like that. So now we're ready to move on to the truck. One thing I want to let you guys know is with Auxbeam, since it is like a universal switch panel versus other brands out there, they make a more universal bracket versus, like I said, other brands will make you brackets specific to the vehicle. So with that being said, you can do two things with the bracket that does come provided. You can either have someone modify this and make it look even cleaner, or you can utilize what it comes with and stay at that affordable price. So that's what we're going to stick with today. We're going to be mounting this right about right here. So we're going to go ahead and get some self-tap screws, and we're going to screw this into the body here. Later down the road, we'll have one of our good friends, which is Jerry, better known as Beast Fab, make us another bracket so that way we can mount it somewhere here, which will make it even nicer, of course. But like I said, we want to stay on the affordable side with what comes inside the box. So we're going to be mounting it, like I said, right here with some self-tapping screws. This is, of course, your choice. I just want to let you guys know. So we've mounted it here. We just pulled this up just to give us a little bit more room. As you can see, one is screwed down. We're going to go ahead and now tap in the other one, and then we could go ahead and proceed with the install. Nice and secure. This thing's not going anywhere. Like I said, if you want yours a little bit more on the cleaner side, you can probably have someone make you a bracket so it can be mounted right here. As far as the hardware to mount this, inside the baggie with the provided screws, we're going to go ahead and get a screw and a nut, a screw and a nut. Let's move on to the truck. All right, you guys, so now that we're on the truck over here, we're going to go ahead and put it in its position where it's going to be placed. We're going to utilize this second middle hole. The same thing for the opposite side. We're going to utilize that middle hole. And then grabbing provided hardware that I told you, just go ahead and mount it. It's that simple. You can do the same thing for the opposite side. I'm going to go ahead and tie this down, and I'll get back to you guys. All right, you guys, so you're going to notice the skinny red wire that we're going to run inside the truck. You'll see why. And then this black one that has the sheathing on it, that's going to be for the switch panel. Those two, we ran them inside. So if you see, we just pushed aside the grommet that goes inside the body of the truck right there, and we ran the wire through. Using a wire puller is usually a lot easier, but what we did is I was out here while I was pushing in the wire through the grommet, and I had my friend inside pulling it outwards. So you guys will see that on the GoPro footage there.
All right. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, go ahead. Pull it.
I'm showing chat. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Tell me when to stop.
You guys will see us kind of pulling it through. Once you have it through, let's go on the inside and show you guys what's next. All right, you guys, so you're going to see it's all in here. And we've taped it. So now I'm going to go ahead and untape this so I can show you guys the next step. This next step is actually fairly easy. You just have to kind of pay attention where we're going to be installing these wires as far as the red one. So right here, what we're going to do is you're going to pull this cap off. It's already pre-sliced from the factory. Go ahead and pull it off. And that's where you're gonna get your add a fuse that you purchased at the store if you have a Toyota Tacoma. So this is gonna go into here. All right, so now that you have it in its place, one thing I could recommend if you guys do have heat shrink, I ran out for this specific sizing, but after you go ahead and clamp this down, I would say, you know, add the heat shrink on there just to make it a nice clean protection, and then give it a little whirl just to make sure it's not gonna pull off easily. If you don't have heat shrink, you can add a little bit of black electrical tape just to make sure that this thing's, of course, not gonna fall apart. What we're adding here is just Tessa Loom tape to make it, of course, for a secure connection and make sure this doesn't fall off. And also just to protect it, makes it look a little bit cleaner than that blue connector that was on there. We can proceed to the next step, which we're gonna be taking off these panels here, which is pretty simple. If you've never taken them off from your truck, it might be a little harder. If you've done your truck a bunch of times, this should just come off easily. So take that off, and then we're gonna take this bad boy off. Okay, you're gonna see right here, I know it's kind of hard to see it on the camera, but there's a little screw here. Just go ahead and twist it off or use a Phillips head to unscrew that. It's just a little cap, as you can see. Now that you take that off, you go ahead and take this off as well. Just like that. And then up top right here, you're gonna have a fuse box, which will show you guys a little better picture right now. So here is your fuse box cover. You're gonna notice, I know it's gonna be hard to see it on camera, but on this side of the fuse box, which is over here where you sit, there's gonna be a little insert where you wanna go ahead and get like a flathead, and you insert it into there, and then it releases it. Just like that. So once you uncover the fuse box cover there, there's going to be a couple fuses that we're going to need to work with. Alright, you guys, so now that we did that, noticing the tool that we're using, we ended up using the one that's on the engine bay fuse panel. This is the actual OEM one. This is the one that came with the Auxbeam. It's too fat to fit inside of there, so we use the OEM puller. So now up next with our add a fuse here, you're going to want to go ahead and get a size 30 fuse, and you're going to go ahead and put this one at the top right here. So you see the wire coming out there, so you'll put the 30 in that, just like that, as you can see. And then we're going to put the 15 that we pulled out of there right here. So let's do that now. So here's the 15. So now that that's done, up next, we're going to go ahead and reinstall this where we took it off. It was on the right side, way in the back. You count 1, 2, and 3, and it was that 15 there. You can see it's empty now, so we'll go ahead and reinstall it into that. So now we're done. One thing to take note on is you won't be able to reinstall your cover due to this. But if I was you guys, I still would save this, put this in your glove box, put this somewhere in the truck in case you ever need to troubleshoot something down here. Keep this, don't throw it away. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tug all these wires to make it look nice and clean. We'll get a couple zip ties, and then we're going to start running this wire up. So let me show you guys. So the next step, now that we installed the add a fuse, as you can see, we have this black wire left over. This is the one that's going to be connected to our actual switch. So this, you can kind of place it wherever you want. Some people place it up here, some people place it down here. You can go ahead and run it all the way to the center up top right there. Anywhere you want to place this, you can. For us, as you can see, we do have a Mob Armor off-road mount right here. We're going to show you guys kind of how it works. This isn't, of course, part of the install, but we're going to show you guys because for us, it's going to be easier to install it in this section here. And other people, like what I had on my Tacoma, I had mine mounted right here from Running for Tacos. You remove this piece here, and then you buy their bracket, install there, and the switch panel goes onto it. So let's just show you guys. So since we're going to be installing ours up here, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to pull apart this weather seal. And same thing, if you've never removed it, it might be a little bit hard. Once you got it removed like this, you can just run the wire back through there, pull this back a little bit, and run the wire through. So I can put it in here. You don't need too much slack since that other one also has some wire. The rest of the wire, I'll go ahead and feed it through. And this is not going to stay like that. I'll show you guys what I'm going to do with that right now. I'm just trying to clean this up so I can reinstall this weather strip that we removed. We don't need too much slack because the switch panel also has a wire. So we should be good about there, which will make that for a clean install. And then we could go ahead and reinstall this exactly the way you took it off. Put it back on without damaging the seal. In all the way, you don't want water coming in. The Mob Armor mounts, we already have one installed right there. I just want to show you how it works. So this is the mount, and then it comes with these magnet places here, which end up magnetizing just like that. So it's going to basically be something like this. So I have one here. We're going to peel this off, the magnet place on here. And like I said, this has nothing to do with the switch panel. We're just showing you this process just to show you guys this switch panel is crazy universal. No matter what truck you have, what car you have, no matter what mount you have, it'll work. So just like that, and place that there. And then the cool thing with this is, say we're outside the truck, we can pull it out and kind of feed it through or move it around. So we're gonna leave that about there for now. And then noticing right here, this is only gonna go in one way. So you insert, make sure it goes in that one way. And then once that's done, you're gonna see there's a little cap here, and you go ahead and cap it off. Before I do that though, I'm not gonna cap mine off just yet. We're gonna test everything out, and then like I said, later in the video, I'm gonna pull this apart and see if my old switch panel works with it. So that way, if you guys already have everything wired and you just wanna switch these out, you can. So for now, I'm gonna leave this just half done. But later on, we could go ahead and tuck the wires just to show you, and it'll look nice and clean, just like that. So now let's go ahead and reinstall everything down here. We've zip tied some stuff. Everything looks nice and clean. Let's clean this up, and then we'll move back to the engine bay. All right, you guys, so now all we have left over is gonna be, of course, connecting the positive and the negative to the battery. We're not gonna do that just quite yet. I'm gonna install the lighting first. But one thing I want you guys to notice is, as you can tell, it cleans up the engine bay really nice. Now you don't see wires everywhere like before. Since this does act as a relay and the fuse, it gets rid of all those bulky, unnecessary wires. You literally just have wires coming from whatever light you're running to this bad boy. So let's get that started. We're gonna open this up again. And we're gonna start off with our Bajas that we have in our bumper. These are gonna be the wires that we pre-cut earlier, if you guys remember. I've already pre-sliced them, as you can see. And since these are gonna be ran together simultaneously, because we use them as fog lights, we're gonna go ahead and connect these two wires together. Now, if you wanted to connect each one on different switches, that's also okay. But as far as for us, we use these as fog lights, so we need them to turn on at the same time. So these two wires are gonna get connected together. So we're gonna bring these bad boys together. Super simple, nothing hard about that. And then I know sometimes some people with some fog lights or some lights, ditch lights, doesn't matter what it is, there's a third wire which usually acts as a backlight, or the light does some type of different method. That one, you can use it on a different switch. That way you can still utilize the full functions of the lights. We don't have that, of course, so I can't really explain that too well. But if you guys have questions on that, say your guys has a third light, go ahead and hit me up on Instagram. I'll explain it to you a little bit better. I know I have videos out on that already, so I'll send that directly to you. But now that we have these two together, we're gonna go ahead and connect into the box here to the proper location. As far as for us, when we cut off the relay and the fuse from the harness, ours had a 30 amp fuse. So with that being said, we have to match the correct fuse that's on here, which is gonna be another 30 amp. So we're gonna be using the 30 amp on the first slot. So we're gonna run the wires to the bottom, just like we did with the other ones, just like that. All we do here, it's gonna be really simple. If you see back here, it has a positive and a negative. So the black, since it's our negative, we're gonna be connecting it on this side, negative. The white is our positive, we'll be connecting it to the positive on this side. Using the provided Phillips head screwdriver that came with the Auxbeam, we're gonna go ahead and unscrew these here a good amount. And you're gonna see how simple having a switch panel makes your life when installing any type of light. So now that we have it a good amount, you insert the wire into the proper slot. So there's our positive. Go ahead and tighten this back down. Make sure it's nice and snug. You don't want these wires to pull out when you're off-road or something like that. Now we'll connect our black negatives into the negative side. Same thing. Tighten that bad boy down. Now that the wires are nice and secure, as you can see, you could go ahead and reinstall the cover just like that. And these other wires, you can go ahead and now tuck them nice and clean and use the provided zip ties. We'll do that right now. All right, you guys, so now all we have left, as you guys can see, we cleaned up all the wires from the fog lights that we just installed. It looks nice and clean. All we should have left now is going to be the positive and negative that goes to the switch panel. So we're going to start off with the negative. Using a size 10mm socket, you could go ahead and remove the nut that's here. And then once you get that out of the way, then you can install, like I said, the negative, which is the black wire that I'm holding. So now we got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and tuck this wire. Now let's go ahead and connect our positive here to the positive. So now for the positive side, I'm going to go ahead and connect it right here. That's also going to be a size 10. So we know battery's a little corroded. These terminals will have to be cleaned up pretty soon. Don't make fun of us. And just to finish this off, I'm going to go ahead and add a zip tie right here. And just like that, you can see it really does make your engine bay look a little bit more factory, a little bit more clean. So we've turned on the truck. We're now testing it. As you can see, everything works as it should. You go ahead and push number 1. Our lights just turned on, that's the one we have it hooked up to. Push again, and then the rest of them work. But of course, we don't have nothing hooked up to them. We just want to show you guys. So one thing to take note, now we're going to go ahead and grab our little stickers. And we're going to put the correct sticker to what we have on here. So that way it looks nice and clean. Before finishing everything up and tightening this all up, I want to go ahead and show you guys to see if we can go from this switch panel to the other one. So I'm going to turn this off real quick and swap them out. Pull this apart. And now let's see if our old one will work with it. And if it works, I'll explain some more stuff there. Looks like it works. So there's the number 1. Our lights are turning on and off. All right, so with that being said, what I wanted to tell you guys, as an example, just in case you guys have the old switch panel like I did, and you guys want to go ahead and now remove that one to install this new one, you guys don't have to rewire all that stuff in the engine bay. You literally just swap out this little box here and you're done. I just wanted to show you guys because I know sometimes some people want like a different look on their truck, or sometimes maybe this is damaged and you want to swap it out, but you don't want to redo the wiring or pay someone. There it is, you guys. Easy swap. You're done. If you want to check it out, description box below. I'll also have a full how to install video on this old version in the description box below in case you guys want to see that one.
Over here, we finished installing this Auxbeam switch panel slim onto my truck. Now we're going to be demonstrating all the modes that this switch panel includes. We're in the cab and I'm going to be explaining the features of this switch panel. ASR60 Slim. So with the switch panel on right here, add already the stickers of the lights I am going to have and add to the truck. I do have my fogs. That's the only aftermarket light I do have. And these are the rest I plan on to adding in the future. So what this switch panel provides are 3 modes and RGB backlighting. You can change it to whatever color you want. It's included in the mode. With that being said, here are the different modes that this switch panel provides. If you press mode here on the right, once it turns off the backlighting, so you can keep it off. If the light bothers you at night, you can just have them off, or during the day, if you just like the no light look, you can have it. Press it one more time, it turns on. If you double click mode, you see all the lights blinking. Now we're gonna get into the different light modes that the switch panel provides. So if you press once, you'll change the mode. Blue is momentary. So if you click mode again, that will confirm and save the mode that you want to keep the light on. And since it's momentary, you only have to press it once. And you let go, it turns off. It's momentary. That's blue mode. Now, if you want to switch it again, that's the only light we have, so we can show you all the different modes. Gonna double tap mode twice. The light you want, it's flashing. Now it's green. Green is pulse, so when you hit mode, it's gonna give you this pulse or strobe mode. So you can see, light's green, it's pulse right there. Click it once, turns off. Now to go back, just to stay on just the factory setting, double tap it, go back to red, and I'll go back to red. Just the factory setting, which is just basically your on and off. Click mode and now confirm, and now I'll just keep it on. Alright guys, now that I demonstrated the 3 modes that the switch panel has, now I'm going to demonstrate the RGB mode. I do require 2 hands, so I have to put the camera down. So with your 2 hands, you go to mode and you click any button either on the left or on the right. So we're going to do left, it's a lot easier for me. So you just will click at the same time. This red light will pop up on the mode. And all you simply do is hold on. I do on the left since it's easier. I hold the left button and it'll slowly start to change color. As you can see, the color change, see? Now if you want to just save it, just press mode again and it'll save. So I just demonstrated all the modes, RGB, the toggle, momentary, and pulse mode that this switch panel provides. This is the ASR60 Auxbeam Slim. You can get other variants of it, which they have a 4 gang, a 6 gang, which is this one, and an 8 gang. The 4 has 4 buttons, the 6 has 6 buttons, and the 8 has 8 buttons on the panel. Also, there's different series of this panel right here, which is the AC series, which they have an app and a remote. Or you can just get the app and just control everything from the app. This one does not have the app. We just have the standard AC series. I hope you guys enjoyed this demonstration. Back to you, Jesse.
Now that we finished up with the installation, we showed you guys the features. We showed you guys if you have the old version and you want to swap it out for this version. And we also showed you guys, of course, a couple other little things about it. I just want to let you guys know, this installation should take you guys about 30 to 45 minutes roughly. If you guys are really experienced and have done this a bunch more times before, it should take you a lot less than that, but I'd say probably 30 to 45 minutes. So with that being said, if you guys do want to purchase either this one or the other version, check out the description box below. I've also linked a video on my old video, so you can check that out as well, just so you guys can see the differences on that. One thing I did want to tell you guys is, of course, since this one is a little bit more on the budget side, you do lose out on some features. I feel like on the other one, you get a little bit more, but either one that you get is going to be a good option overall. Like we were saying earlier, there is other brands out there that are a lot more expensive, but you get almost all the features still on these ones. So if you guys do want an Auxbeam one, there you guys go. If you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
JesseRizo is here for you. It's here for you, Like I said, it's super simple. Please feel free to subscribe.